We're never really ready, right?
Never.
Never.
Does this need to be closer to me, or is it? Never done this.
I think you're doing good.
Hello.
Hey guys, welcome to Mediocre at Breast. Today we have Saira Adams. Too excited for this. I can't believe she walked in on my set wearing the coolest green nails I've ever seen in my life. This office Christmas shirt. I mean, Rush is cool, but damn it, Saira.
I'm sorry, I came prepared.
It's always a good feeling when you know that you're not going to get sued.
For sure.
I feel like Disney every day wakes up and they're like, who's going to sue me today?
Mm-hmm.
But that music that you hear right there was done by Tommy Ross himself. So we will not be sued today.
Hooray.
So
You paid him
glad.
in a child.
A whole being. How are you? It's been so long since we've been like together, but I feel you the relationship's the same as my sister, I feel. No matter how much time has passed, it's like, what the fuck is up? Where have you been?
No. What is your life right now?
Yeah. Overstimulated or what?
Send me a picture of you right now. What are you doing?
Yes. So miss the hell out of you.
Same.
As our kids get older, obviously we'll make more time for
when
each
you
other.
have more freedom to be a human again, like you for sure. We're just now getting into that like phase where we're like been able to leave our kids a little bit and go do grown-up things. Been downtown recently, like multiple times. And I'm like, what is this?
How's the parking? Is it
terrible?
Is it still crazy?
I didn't drive.
Good. I live down there. I think about like before I had Lennon.
Fever dream.
Yes, isn't it? Like that was not real. People who don't have kids, you're living your fakest life right now. So live it up, romanticize it, all the things.
Do all the things. Be the main character.
Yes, because you won't be.
And then you won't remember it. Kids do something like some sort of like childhood amnesia, childbirth amnesia, where it's like, we did that.
I say that all the time. I'm like, they took a part of that memory away in my brain when they did the C-section.
Yeah,
they
gone.
did it all together. I had a great anesthesiologist.
Same.
He was the best. He was so sweet.
I know. They got the best job too. I remember in my C-section, this last one, my second C-section, my second one, I was laying there and, they strap your arms down and stuff. And I was laying there and he was like, you all right? You good? The anesthesiologist.
Style.
Yeah, I know. It's terrifying. Like this, there's some messaging in here.
Yeah.
But the anesthesiologist was standing next to me. He's like, you're all right? You're good? And I was like, I can't feel my hands. Is that a problem? And he says, is it a problem for you? And I said, I can't feel anything else. And he said, then you're doing good. Have a great time.
It freaked me out for sure. To be the control freak I am.
And to have control relinquished like that.
Yeah. So with Brody.
It was an emergency.
It was emergency. So same. That's what I wanted to ask, I guess. Because with that.
And you have this idea
and then
of what it's going to be like.
Now your second one is most likely, unless you're going to be that bitch with the VBAC.
A spa retreat.
And I would love to be that, but realistically, I do have to think about having a C-section again if I have a second kid, and it makes me almost not want to have one. But if you have any pep talk, you say it's more so like a spa day whenever you plan it, right?
Yeah, with the first one, I feel like by the time you get to like an emergency C-section scenario, you're already so exhausted.
I was
in labor for 3 days. Like they were trying to do me for 3 days.
I was like 40 hours.
I didn't get to eat for 3 days.
Yeah, you're at your weakest and they're like, so you want to get cut open or what?
Yeah, I guess we don't have any other option.
Yes. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, you're so heroic. And I'm like, there was nothing
else
like
to
communism.
Do.
It was the answer was A or A.
You want to continue to do this and risk sepsis, or do you want us to just get it over?
Oh man.
And then I was on bed rest the last couple months of that pregnancy. Like I was like done.
With Beta?
With Brody.
Oh
well, with both of them. I didn't really Beta's honestly was not that bad, which I feel terrible saying that because I was miserable.
Well, I want to say that your mentality and preparedness is almost 80% of it.
Yeah.
that's why it might have felt like better, or like even just maturity.
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say is with the emergency scenario, like you're so tired, it's all scary at that point. Like there's no soft launch of we're gonna cut you open, you know, like there's no like easing into it. My doctor came in, she broke my water and it didn't happen. And then eventually she was like, so it's been 24 hours. We're gonna do a C-section. And I was like,
oh yeah, because it matters, right?
Yeah. There's a time frame after your water's been broken.
I heard, not like I heard like this is hot goss. They could like put water back up there.
What?
Am I talking?
For sure not an option given.
Am I talking out of my ass or what?
They probably could give you fluids and it would refill.
I just feel like I've heard someone say, one of my friends was like, they tried to do a balloon or something to like keep it fresh for a little bit.
That's cool.
But then she had a C-section.
Yeah.
Ultimately, my friend just had her second one.
I feel like it's the idea of C-section is so much scarier than the reality of it. Like, yes, it's going to hurt, but childbirth hurts too. Like pushing a baby out through a lemon hole size, you know, like
no, both patients should go to pelvic floor therapy.
Sure.
Like both of them have trauma.
Sure. Nobody should be walking immediately after that. Let alone carrying a baby and like doing all that by yourself.
It's
like
crazy.
It's wild.
What's expected though.
You know, and I look back on it and I'm like, I literally had my abdomen cut open, even for the second time, and still like got up and carried a baby around and like fed it from my body. Like we're crazy.
I was worried that would end my nursing journey right there. But it didn't. It made me, if anything, like
fight harder for it.
Fight so hard because I was like, no freaking way. That's all this other stuff has gone wrong.
You don't get to take this from me.
Yes, please. And I'm so fortunate that it didn't. And I know, you know, some people it does in there.
I think a lot of that is the support system you have in place for that. Because like I tried to breastfeed with Brody after a C-section, a traumatic birth scenario. Like after all of that, him being in ICU, like it just wasn't going to happen for me because I didn't have the people around me that like were there to be like, no, you have to keep going. It's going to feel like nothing's happening, but you have to keep going. Like, really having like people in your court and people that have been
slept
there.
on my couch.
Your sister, she came over too.
Every time she came over to your house too,
because I was just like, it's not working, and she's like, this baby is sleeping, she's fine.
Yeah.
And I just cried. So cool. I cried the whole time Johnny was there. So like seeing her on your episode a couple weeks ago, I was like, I'm gonna get emotional watching this.
Yes, because she's just such a calming presence. Supportive to all things mom.
Yes,
she could like, you know, amp anyone up on their darkest days. I feel it's so cool.
She is wonderful
to have that power. That's a superpower,
and to open yourself up to be accessible to people.
I tell anyone who tells me that they're interested in nursing or anything like that,
you need to talk to Johnny.
Or now that I'm such a big passionate person about it now.
Isn't that wild?
That I'm like, oh my gosh.
When people ask you for advice and you're like, me? You think I know what I'm doing?
Yes. Yeah. So honored. But anytime someone's pregnant or something like that, I'll offer it to anybody. I'll be like, hey, if you
or even thinking about it,
feeling low, you feeling any type of way, it's probably magnesium, by the way. But I just call me, text me. I want to help anybody out who wants to go through that because I know the support was like so vital for me, and some people don't have it.
Yeah.
I hear of a lot of people, a lot of women in my generation, not that we're that far apart, but I was formula fed. Like it was just like what you did. So as far as like, it's not that maybe these older moms like aren't supportive.
It wasn't
they
just an option
really
for them.
don't know. And I heard it was kind of hinted as if you breastfed, you were poor.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't trendy.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
They really fucking did that to
Corey's Nana told me that. She was like, it was never even an option for me. And she was one of those people that was given the twilight drug whenever she had Waynera, my mother-in-law. So she doesn't remember labor, any of it, because they knocked you out back then. They would literally, it was called twilight. Okay, it's time for the twilight.
Sounds like a good time.
Right? And so you wake up and you have this baby and then they're like, you don't have to breastfeed. That's for poor people.
Dang. Yeah, I had heard that and I was just like, no way. So yeah, guys, if they lied to you about that, they're probably lying about something else.
No big deal. Don't be afraid.
That's why I'm such a skeptic. My son, I could tell he's a skeptic already.
Oh, Brody too.
Anything I tell him, he's like,
where'd you hear that? You got a video for that?
Exactly.
That's my thing.
I was about to say Brody was my first YouTube kid.
Yeah.
To ever
They're a different breed.
Ryan's toy review. And now he's like huge, right?
Yes.
He like got
TV
even
shows,
bigger.
video games. Yes, I know. And I'm like, I'll never escape you.
We made together.
Very sweet child. Ryan's toy review.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Ryan.
Yeah,
we saved our sanity.
We're gonna talk shit about a minor real quick. Yeah, no way. No way. He's doing great. We're just mad we didn't do it first.
And that we had to watch so much of his footage against our wills.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so interesting what they are interested in.
He comes to me all the time now with like space facts and like fun facts. Because I was like, if you're gonna be on YouTube all the time, do something, learn to play guitar.
You could literally like become a
plumber, figure something out you want to do.
Yeah.
So he
learn
does.
A trade.
But now it's like a double-edged sword. I've kind of like girl boss too close to the sun because he'll come in and just scream random facts at me all the time. And I'm like, okay, great.
Good.
That's awesome. That's a thing I know now. Thank you.
I now know that. I was however many years old until I found that out. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you were younger, Brody.
Yeah. Look at you, ahead of the curve.
But we were at HEB today, and Tommy was talking to the checkout guy who's like, can't wait till I could play video games with my son. And the guy was like messing with him, and he said, he was joking, like, well, I hope he's better than you. Like, I hope he beats you and you let him win and blah, 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 joking like that. And I was like, honestly, they're going to be so tech savvy. They just will be.
They are. He's better than me at everything now. Like, he comes and shows me how to do stuff. I'm trying to edit TikToks and he's like, go back to the editing page. Okay, now crop that. And I'll put some music over it. And I'm like, you want to do it? You just handle this?
I love that.
He does. He's way tech savvy, and he knows like video gaming especially is hard for us because he is very good very quickly.
Would you say that Bradley was like right before that? Like, he's not exactly an iPad kid, but he does say Riz.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. He was like right before that full on iPad era. He was one of those, do you have any games on your phone?
Yes.
That was Bradley's like catchphrase. That was
Bradley James.
I had a whole folder of games just for Bradley. When Bradley came over, can I play games on your phone?
Yeah. Well, so yeah. I remember playing Prince of Persia on my mom's flip phone.
Nice.
Oh man.
My mom had Snake.
Okay. I had, what was your first phone?
My first phone? Okay, so I had like a Nokia brick phone, but it wasn't turned on. One of my uncles had given it to me. So I got to use that for a little bit just to like pretend I had a cell phone.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm a part of the Nokia phone.
Yeah,
phone
I had
era.
I would say, I guess that was my first. I bought it at Best Buy.
My first phone that I bought for myself, I was a lifeguard at Waterworld when I was 15. So I could pay my own phone bill. So my mom couldn't ground me from my phone anymore. And I bought a Sanyo Katana, which was like the Verizon knockoff of the Razor. And I just thought I was the baddest bitch on the planet.
You were.
I knew that little phone. I was terrible. So that was my first phone. What was your first phone?
I got it. No. I got to be, cringe a little bit. It was a Nokia, flip. I got it from Best Buy. It was my 5th birthday present. And but it was just to like, because I started walking home from school that year.
Yeah.
It was just to call my mom and let her know I made it home, basically.
Sure. And look like a baddie on your walk.
Because I bedazzled the hell out of that thing.
Of course you did.
And it was red.
This generation will never know. They'll never understand.
And the ringtones.
Yes. And now if I hear a ringtone, I will peel the paint off the walls.
Yeah. People.
I hate it.
Oh my God. And it's like almost like just socially immoral to have a ringtone.
A sound?
Yeah. It's
in front of my salad?
You are, yeah. That we're the society of the overstimulated.
Yeah.
So anytime that happens, it's
too
like,
many noises.
Stop. And you're going to talk on the phone right now? Oh my God.
My best friend was on the phone with me last night, Michael, and he was walking around Walmart with me on speaker. I was like, you're a monster. Why would you, 1, subject me to the Walmart public? Yeah. And 2, subject those poor people to whatever I'm saying on speakerphone? You're
Michael.
Gay white male privilege.
You're the worst.
I could never. I would be getting rushed out of the Walmart.
I think I've actually met him.
You have?
I have.
He's a delight.
He's great. Yeah, I was like, he's actually great, but Man, you've got
speakerphone in Walmart.
Everyone has their flaws. I guess.
I know. I was like, I can't believe you would do that to me and to them.
Bold. What aisle?
He was like buying groceries. So like around the families.
Oh my God.
I know. And I don't even know what I was saying. He was like, you're on speaker, by the way. And that immediately made me overanalyze everything I had said.
So you're like, oh, wait. Damn.
What did I talk about?
You have a sister.
Yeah.
How many years apart?
10.
Okay. So yeah, me and Johnny are 15, but me and Bo are 12.
Yeah.
So
you kind of got the best of both
worlds. Yeah. We were talking earlier before this even started about how that affects parenting. And because when you're a mom and every day after becoming a mom, you analyze your motherhood, your childhood, and your mother's motherhood, and your father's
and then her childhood as well.
And then her childhood every single day. Dads, I don't know about y'all, but
we do.
But this is what I do all the freaking time. And we were talking about how that age gap, we got different parenting styles from the same parents.
Yeah.
And that changes us effectively today.
Absolutely.
What would you... I mean, I feel like I described it as Bo and Johnny got, young mom, young mom learning things, stuff like that.
I got starter children.
I got an established lady and
who had already made some mistakes and learned from them,
and might have different practices now entirely. And through childhood, your siblings, you're the older one, so you even know, notice, you're like, whoa, that would have never
ever
have flown over here.
Oh yeah.
And then we're like, well, we're teaching independence now. It's different.
What's that?
Yeah. Well, we're doing this.
She can go to the mall with her friends.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Nuts.
That's nice. I never went to a mall as a teenager without an adult until after I'd graduated and moved out of my parents' house. The first time I was out with like Corey at the mall, I was like, I'm not allowed to do this.
The mall.
Yeah. Like little things like that.
Well, you know what? And nowadays, maybe we should like go back to that, because things are crazy out there. I hear the craziest things happening in the places I thought were the most normalist.
Nope.
They're not. Nothing's safe anymore.
Well, I think that all ties into that like generation of the iPad kids, like that instant gratification that this generation of kids is from. Like they have the entirety of the world's knowledge at their fingertips, and it does. I feel like it makes them grow up a lot faster, and in some ways, but like maturity, like life skills, like you're saying, like they do need like real world interactions, like experiences, and to really like struggle.
Yeah.
I think you become who you are through that struggle, and these kids aren't going to have a lot of that struggle.
I look at the bus boys and I worry about the future.
Bus boys in particular are just a special breed. Like I can even remember when I was waiting tables, you look at those bus boys and you're like, you're going to be a person.
I want to think as a mom of a son that
your kid's not going to be a bus.
That they they're already working. They're doing more than a lot of people in their grade already, so I like to think that they're on the up and up.
Sure.
And they're not just maybe working to buy drugs, I mean, also, can we talk about that like preconceived notion that people have with servers? Like they think that that's what I'm doing with my life.
You're
like,
obviously a heroin addict.
Yeah. Whenever I say like
you're an adult waitress,
I'm a mom or whatever. Yeah. I'm going to let y'all know I'm doing what I do because it's worth it. And I like it. And I have a degree and I still went to serving.
Yeah. It's good money.
So
it's flexible schedule.
And I get to see my kid. Do you know how many people are just like,
not around?
Oh man, I just wish I could see my kid. See them. Change your life
to see them. Yeah.
It's
You're
remarkable.
Not going to have as much money in your bank account.
I have a hobby. Like it's worth it. And you know what? He's going to go off, start doing his own thing.
Sure.
And you got to be
there for all of that.
A stay-at-home mom for how long?
A decade.
Woo!
I know, it's crazy.
I'm not even gonna worry about the soundboard.
Oh yeah, I don't know what that was.
But we're just so like that's just so cool that you got to do that. And you know, it's such a privilege in this economy, obviously.
It is
also.
And it was a struggle. Like it was it's really hard. I feel like that's what scares people away from the whole stay-at-home parent concept is because of how broke you're going to be. Like, you are going to be very broke, but you're also going to have these like experiences with your kids that you would never have in any other way.
On a
like,
random Tuesday.
All those things that I got to be there for, Corey also got to be there for, like having one of us there and on hand to catch all those like special little bitty tiny moments that you wouldn't catch. I don't want to talk bad on daycare parents because people got to do what they got to do, but you miss out on a lot of that stuff. You sacrifice. Yeah. You sacrifice a lot of those like small like bonding moments when you have to go that route, and so I feel for them. We were very privileged to have that opportunity for me to be home, and it was very, very hard. But now, like on the other side of it, lost our minds. I don't know how I got to the other side of it, but like we were sitting at dinner literally at Chili's the other night. We were sitting at Chili's and like I was about to pay the bill and I was like, this like it's the same bank account, but like my paycheck is paying for this dinner tonight. Like I really whole ass have a job, which is crazy because having like I've had multiple businesses through all of this, like little small shops and stuff, but to actually be like a whole working member of society paying taxes.
As I say, paying taxes.
Like, that was like a really like, wow.
What a treat.
I know.
Pay taxes. Thank you so much.
I love that. And so like that was really like the full moment where I was like, wow, this is like the dust is settled, because I went back to work a week after the kids started school, and it was Veda starting kindergarten too. So I've been
slowly following along.
It's over.
All of this. How has kindergarten adjustment been?
She loves it. She's the star of the show. Everybody loves her. Good. Everybody says that she's so sweet and well adjusted. And I'm like, really? Because she crow hops her brother in the living room. So that's strange. Yeah. But yeah. Everybody loves her. She's having the time of her life. Social butterfly.
Yeah. I've been so, I guess, MIA from your life for so long. I just learn, who and what Veda is.
Sure.
I've met y'all
via social media, sure.
But via social media. And
text message.
What a wild thing that thing is.
She is feral. She is crazy.
I love it though. She's you.
Yeah, I know. And maybe that's why it's like, am I like that?
It's like I know how to handle it, but I know it's gonna take it's gonna take more than one brain cell.
Absolutely. She wears me
to
out.
Do this. Yeah. Yeah. Lennon's getting yesterday I had him all day because Tommy on Mondays has lessons. His father passed away recently. So I was he needed some sleep. He didn't sleep much. So I took Lennon to go outside because that's all he ever wants to do is go outside.
Should have never showed him outside.
I know, right? Golly. I was just like, one day you're earthing and the next thing you're being bullied to go outside. So yeah, we spent the whole day just doing things. I can't really get him to like a toy for long.
Yeah.
Like he'll be
loses interest quickly.
Oh, cool. He likes books, but if I don't read that fast enough, he doesn't want it either.
Nope.
He just has to be doing things. So we go to jungle gym things, just to whatever he can do to climb and jump on things. It's apartment living though. Sure.
For sure. Even like being in the house, like they don't want to be in the house all the time. They want to go.
The oasis your backyard has become.
It's a mess right now.
Shout out COVID.
Yeah, shout out COVID. No, and Animal Crossing. Yeah, Animal Crossing took over our lives over COVID lockdown. And we started looking around like, why aren't we living like this?
Yeah.
I want my real house to look like my Animal Crossing house.
That's inspirational.
And so we did.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So if anyone out there, follow your Animal Crossing dreams.
Absolutely. Facebook Marketplace is your friend.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
It's my addiction.
I mean, right now, like, you can kind of tell.
You're minimalist.
We have to be minimalist.
Yeah. Sticky fingers.
Our baby gate broke yesterday.
Oh, God.
It's like a retractable thing. It broke yesterday.
Devastating.
Yes. And it has been. Because I talk about this a lot. I don't, when you tell them no all day, it's just not a good day. It's not a good day. It will take you a
reasonable amount of freedom.
Yes, they feel like they have no control. Then they're irritable in other areas of their life.
Yeah,
and that's just
puts you in a bad mood.
I never want to be the bad guy. No, I just want to hang out.
I just want to be your best friend.
Yeah.
Just let me a little longer.
Yeah. Oh gosh, he's obsessed with me.
Enjoy it.
Yeah,
enjoy it because eventually they start having their own lives and they're like, "Mom's chuggy. Mom's so funny." Mom says funny, weird things that we don't understand.
You got me my job, basically.
Oh, I did?
At
That's amazing because I was fired
I'm
from
working
that job.
right there. I put your name down.
And they took you.
Yeah. Ryan said that's cool.
Ryan loves me. So
he's like close enough.
Yeah, he got it. That was my bad.
Yeah, who I was dating at the time went in there like an hour before me, did not get hired.
He put Corey down.
Did he?
I think so.
Oh, I put yeah. And then because we've had so many friends work there. Just come through there.
It's home.
It is.
And you don't want it to be.
It's dangerous.
It is.
I say that all the time. It's dangerous. Like when Tracy left, I was devastated. Oh. I was like, but how?
I got emotional when Tracy left. Like, you were there for so long, girl.
Liberty Bell's still there.
Cute.
I'm so sorry, Liberty Bell. I don't know your real name. I've just been calling her Liberty Bell because she's so iconic. Just like Liberty Bell. Name's LB. She's the sweetest little thing that's ever happened.
She is.
And the sassiest thing. There's just her and this guy Damien at work and Damien's like my age.
Yeah.
Are always
best
just
friends.
Going at it. No, they're like arguing.
Enemies, arch nemesis. I love it.
I love it. But
restaurant drama.
And he's so passive. That's what's funny about it. He's just the most passive guy. That Damien. Yeah, they always got something to say. It's
you get on cute. LB's bad side. You're on the bad side forever. She's not leaving.
I know she goes with the restaurant. She goes down with the restaurant is what they say.
Yep.
That's so cool.
That's hilarious. I loved working daytime shift with all the hens. I'm sorry if you didn't know you're a hen, then that's probably because you're a hen. But we call the daytime chicks the hens.
Yeah.
They're roosting. They're on their nest.
It's just such a clutch.
It's
now they let anyone.
Oh
yeah.
It was elite when I was waiting tables. It was top tier.
That's what
I got to be day shift at Buffalo Wild Wings too, and that was lit.
Yeah. If y'all don't know this, if you are working the lunch shift at a place, you're probably an elite server.
That's the best money.
But you're probably if you also don't know that, then they might just let anyone. They might just let anyone work there. I don't know.
Day shift's the best shift. I would go back for day shift. I thought about it for a minute and then I was like, I don't know if I can people that much.
Yeah. Going back, I was scared. I took a year, took 14 months off of serving, and that's just a lot because and I had a C-section. By the way,
your body's completely different when you go back.
Had surgery. I was so scared going back, honestly. But it was just like riding a bike, and after that shift, I sat in my car and I literally said, "This place is dangerous."
Yep, because I'll be here forever.
Because
everyone does.
Parenting's harder.
I think it's a special thing with that place too. Like the people that own it, the people that run it, like they genuinely give a shit.
It's a family-owned business.
They genuinely give a shit about the people that work for them. I remember during what hurricane was it? Was it?
It was. I mean, I was there during Harvey.
Maybe it was Ike or Rita, one of those, like wiped them out because they are so close to the water, wiped them out. And like, they still paid people to come and clean up. They still paid people wages, like to cover their bills.
Remember ITC? We were closed for like 50 days and we still got checks every other week.
And that's like unheard of in the restaurant industry.
Just to stay being a part of their ship, like,
don't leave us.
Yeah. That was it. I was like, that was
they are wonderful. That wonderful
was
people.
So solid. And I don't know if anyone I ever like talked about how cool that was.
But rare. It's a rare experience there.
So the restaurant I work at, we used to work at, she used to work at, is on this long stretch of chemical plants. And there was a company, man, I name dropped that company. Is that okay? You know what?
It happened. I mean, you could Google it.
Yeah, they maybe shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
They didn't mean to, I'm sure. But huge explosion. I was at the restaurant when it happened. And they just like called down to us. I keep freaking swinging on this mic today. They called down to us and they said, don't let anyone leave. And then after whatever, they called and we had to get on the ferry and go that way. And that's crazy. At that point in my life, I was living in downtown Houston and I was like, I'm in Baytown. How do I get home?
I'm never gonna get home.
Yeah, it was wild. And the explosion just happened. So there was so much traffic. It's like everyone just parked their cars.
They did.
And I guess they had to. And yeah, that was a crazy day.
That was wild.
And it happened for a few days that it burned, right?
We had to leave because we live so close to it. Like we're less than a mile from it. Yeah. So my whole back of my house, all those windows on the back of my house, it's just black. All of it blacked out.
When we finally went back to work, it was just flat. Just so much. And everything was just dark and ashy.
Terrible.
And yeah.
That's my worst fear of like being in this. That's like the scary part of living in a refinery town that nobody talks about. Like,
yeah. Also the looming like cancer.
Yeah, that too.
You're probably
at some point.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What plants do you currently have growing? What animals? Like let's crunch it out for a second.
You wanna talk about it? All right, let's get into it.
After I had Lennon, I am like just still so
hermit.
Like I can't fathom taking care of an animal right now.
You'll
like
get there.
Like that.
Sure.
But I feel like I'm so like he's over a year. When's that gonna like poor Squish?
She's fine.
She's at Papa's house for last year.
She's living her best life.
Yeah, I just feel bad. You know, I have mom guilt in that area too.
You don't
but also mentally, I cannot even try to have that mom guilt right now. Like picking what to give them to eat every day is enough already.
Too much. She being here eating toys, swallowing crazy stuff. Like it's so stressful.
Gosh, you're so cool and domestic too. You know, right? You cook.
Yeah.
You've cooked, you've baked. Your mom makes like super cool cakes too. Gosh, just
I know it's great.
Tell us all about it.
We have 2 dogs, which Kronos should probably count as 4 dogs because he is psychotic. 2 dogs, accidentally 6 cats. Because had one cat.
It's always accidental after the 5th.
Yeah. Well, we had one and she quickly respawned into like 8. And then I was able to rehome 2.
An asexual cat?
Yeah. She just magic.
Multiply?
No, unfortunately, I had made an appointment to get her spayed because she desperately wanted to be back outside. She was an outside cat when Corey brought her home. She didn't want to be in the house. Like she's tolerated it, but she wanted to be free. And I kind of honestly think she has a little bit of Bobcat in her because she's scary sometimes. But she wanted to be outside real bad. We made an appointment to get her spayed and everything and microchipped and do all the things because I love her. I don't want her to be taken. And literally the morning of her appointment, she knocked Veda off of her feet to get out the back door. So couldn't take her to the appointment. She didn't come back for 3 days. Made another appointment, took her to get spayed, knocked up. And I couldn't do it, you know, like she was so far along that I was like, I don't want to deal with that.
Wow.
And we had a cat when we were younger that we had gotten fixed while she was pregnant, and she was just never right after that. So I was like, okay, well, this has happened. We're responsible for this. Yeah. We've already done this. This has already happened. So I guess we'll have the kitten. So we didn't get to get her fixed.
Are we talking about cat abortion?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And it was further into it.
Is that how we say that?
Yeah, cat abortion. Yeah. Cats have more rights in Texas than women do. You can have a cat abortion at any time. But so I just didn't do it then because it would have been a lot more money. Like it was a whole thing. So I was like, all right, well, we'll just see what happens.
I've learned so much in the last 33 minutes.
Welcome to the Thunderdome. That's how my life is, man. I've learned so many things about animals and creatures that I did not want to learn through this process. So we went ahead and had the kittens. Okay. Then we got her fixed immediately afterwards. They notched her ear. So she's like a feral cat colony cat. And I didn't want that, but that happened. So we got her spayed and we've been getting all the kittens spayed and fixed as well. So anybody wants a cat, hit me up.
This is actually just like a plug to get her cat sold.
Welcome to the cat rescue.
Has nothing to do with
They're litter box trained. They eat real food. And they're spayed and fixed. So we have 6 cats, unfortunately, but we're dealing with it. We're surviving. And then I've still got all the fish tanks. I'm never going to be done with fish tanks, I don't think.
I think fish tanks are so cool.
I wish we would have stopped at fish tanks because it's like contained.
But my sister had one with like a lionfish or something in it.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
Saltwater tank. I don't have any saltwater tanks. That's a lot of work.
When they moved into that house, they left. Whoever did left it. So they
surprise.
So they tried to like
here's a lionfish that you
Yeah, I don't know if the fish came.
Oh, if that was a choice.
But the tank was there.
Oh, okay.
So cool. I think they might have just like.
Well, then, yeah, why not get a lionfish?
Tried to put that all together.
It's a cool fish.
I think it backfired.
Yeah, they're terrible.
I was about to say, I don't think
saltwater
it went
tanks
well
are terrible.
because that was it after that.
It's a lot of work.
There was nothing else. They had kids.
Yeah.
They had Kennedy.
That'll do it.
They moved into that house, and then I want to say Kennedy came like months after. Oh, no. Kennedy was already born. They went to an apartment. And then they got a house. So very young Kennedy.
Oh, yeah.
And they're very young. I want to say
saltwater tanks are a lot.
Johnny had her first at 23.
That's awesome. I was 20.
I want to say
5 with Brody, but I turned 26 the day we came home. Double Aries
same
birthday.
With me. I was 25 and 26 whenever.
It's a good age.
Yeah.
You know who you are a little bit more.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine having a kid any younger than that.
Yes, I talk about that a lot. I felt like that no matter how much I like thought in my head whenever I saw on that stick that I was pregnant, I immediately was like, oh my gosh, I'm 16 and pregnant. Like immediately, like no matter how old you are, you're gonna like fight or flight that moment so hard.
Corey and I were together for 6 years before we had Brody. So, and we both were like, how did this happen?
What did we do?
I thought we were good at this.
Yeah.
Surprise.
You're Googling things you thought you'd never Google within the like next.
But then
5
adversely, like because I am the older sibling and my sister's so much younger than me, I feel like it was no big deal once I had him. Like I just instinctively knew these things because I'm the oldest of like 15 grandkids and I'm so much older than everybody. So I babysat everybody. So I feel like the biggest hurdle was everybody believing that I knew what I was doing because I was so vehemently anti-kids before that. So I feel like everybody's initial reaction was, are you okay with this?
Yeah.
You want this? You want to do this?
I think that's what I want to say. That was like Johnny's response. It was like, okay. How do you feel about it?
With kids?
Yeah, like,
I don't hate them.
What now is like what she. But she was like, obviously, that's great. She always told me, even whenever I was 16, she was like, babies are not the worst thing in the world. No matter what anyone tells you, like that's not, that's not a reason to like feel like you failed anything, and she was giving me them affirmations early on.
That's good.
But I still immediately was like, oh gosh,
what am I gonna do?
What do I do?
It's funny though, because now Faith is the age I was when I had Brody, and she's like, I'm not gonna have kids for another 10 years. And I'm like, I was the same age as you when I had Brody. So just know it could happen at any time. She's like, no, I'm not down for kids. And it's funny because she lived with us for a good portion of Brody when he was little. So it's like, it's not that she's not been around enough kids to love kids. It's that she has been around enough kids to know that she does not want any of your own.
Yeah. I kind of felt, I felt that way too. Cause I was an aunt at 8 years old.
Her too.
But I never had to, I did watch them, I guess. I watched Johnny's 2 youngest. I watched them while she went to a college class once a week. And man, I've got so much guilt about this one time with that scenario. And I just want to thank Bo real quick for saving my ass this day. I had gone to, it was on a Wednesday. She had class on Wednesday. So this was I was already set up for failure.
Yeah, it's the middle of the week.
When Barbarella's has emo night on Tuesdays, right?
What are you to do?
Yes. I went to emo night and I had a good time.
Sure.
And the next thing I know, next morning, someone's knocking on my apartment door and it's my neighbor. And they're like, they look just as messed up as me. I don't know what was wrong with them. But I open the door. I'm like, what's up? And he says, your parents are looking for you. And I was like, my parents are looking for me. And I was like, what the heck? So I tried to find my phone. It's under the bed. My alarm had been going off for hours. I am not this person also. So I'm freaking out. I'm supposed to be watching children right now.
Full panic attack.
I called Johnny and she's like, Bo's already here. And I am throwing up between
alcohol and anxiety.
Yes. I'm so glad you took the words right out of my mouth. Because I remember telling Johnny, like, I don't know why I tried to like
Act like you weren't drunk.
Yeah, man. I was so dumb at that age. And I was literally driving on 225 with a Whataburger cup in my hand.
So you could throw up?
Yes. Because I was going to get to those babies.
Yeah.
Man. And
maternal instincts.
Yeah. I guess, Johnny, we're even for the time you pinched my leg on the toilet seat at Walmart or wherever we are. She talks about that all the time. She's like,
carries it with her.
Yes. She's like, when I put you on the toilet at Walmart, it pinched your leg and you cried, and I still feel so bad about it. And I was like 4.
I don't remember it.
Yeah,
I'm glad it's eating you alive though.
Yes, she still talks about it. But that scenario with your children, Johnny, eats me alive. But they were fine. They were fine. Thanks, Bo.
Thanks, Uncle Bo.
I recovered from that hangover probably
3 days later.
It was, I don't even know.
Could you imagine doing that now? We should go to emo night. I bet we leave by 9:30.
I want to say doors don't open till 9.
Jesus Christ. We're not going. We're not going to make it. That's so funny.
Someday. And it's on a Tuesday. That was just a different time. Like you said anything before our kids just feels like such a fever dream.
Yeah. How did we do that? Even a little bit after, like that time we went to New Braunfels and picked up a random trailer and went tubing and came back in one day.
We did that.
Yeah, with my dad, remember?
Oh my God. Y'all, Saira is the only person that I have willingly gone camping with.
More than once.
She got my ass. And
granted, one of those times I put you in a bed under air conditioning.
Yeah. They have a
camper.
Super cute. She had a glamping phase.
Well, it's a shell right now, but yes, we will be back into the glamping phase.
That's what we'll call it a phase right now. Because we have to revisit our phases.
Yes, you do. They're cycles.
Yes.
You just go through them.
But it was so cute. And brother was there and bugs were there and
alligator.
I did it.
Remember there was an alligator in the little pond we went and put that raft on? I had to row us on the raft as your brother and his ex-girlfriend were fighting.
Love that.
Memories.
So them of them to do.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Man. And the only reason I've never been a like river rat or anything like that.
You can't see what's in there.
Well,
that's what scares me.
One of my biggest fears in life is stubbing my toe in water. This is very niche. In the water, and I can't get to the side because you do that hop like in the water to get out, and you're like, and
okay, well, in that point, your brother should be like tested for science because I've never been to the river without him being mortally wounded in the water.
Oh my gosh, he was so sunburnt one time.
He straight broke his whole ass foot one time and was just
kept going. Weekend. I remember,
and then was going on a work trip the week after. So he was there for like 2 weeks on a broken foot.
Bo,
he's crazy.
Now he just works like 70-hour weeks.
It's freaking nature.
I said 70, right? Not 7. Yeah. Okay, I was like.
70 hours a week.
He's living a different dream.
Yeah.
I guess.
A cash money dream.
Yeah. And he has a 3 or 4 month old now as well.
Yeah, he put those pictures the other day. So cute.
Shout out William. Well, what did you do those nails yourself?
Yeah, I did. I did.
Y'all, once again,
hyperfixations, dog. So it's funny because I was talking to you earlier about like overstimulation and stuff and like hyperfixations now. And I asked you if you'd taken the RADS test.
Yeah.
And it's like
explain that. I don't know what
it's the autism test that everybody talks about. I saw it on TikTok and somebody was like, so we aren't just walking around with 180 score on our RADS. And I was like, ha, that's funny. So then I took the RADS. And like anything over like 90 is presumed that you're probably on the spectrum of to some extent.
I think Becca's talked about
I scored like 148 and I was like, well, everything's all coming full circle now.
Yeah.
Suddenly everything makes a little more sense because I've always been one of those, like, I'm going to learn a skill. I'm going to master that skill. And then I never want to see that skill again, like my whole life. And that's apparently like a huge red flag.
Tommy's one of those people that can like
get something up and be immediately really good at it.
Oh my God.
Y'all should take that test.
I think
because turns out we gravitate to one another.
They don't have a sense of the room. All have a sense of the room.
That's why it's a spectrum.
Neurotypical people don't have a concept of the room around them. Apparently neurotypical people don't have like an inner monologue that's like constantly catering to their day, like chronologing their day. Like I have a playlist constantly in my head at all times.
That's what I said that the other day.
Apparently normal neurotypical people don't have that. I'm up there. I scored pretty high.
There are things I'd say that she hyperfixates on.
I do too. And that was everybody's initial reaction is like, you can't be on the spectrum. You're not autistic.
Because
you're the smartest person I know. That was the first thing somebody said to me. And I was like, it's different for girls though. See, that's what also was another thing is I'm very social. I have lots of friends.
We have this preconceived
notion of what
it looks like, and it's someone who doesn't talk, doesn't make eye contact.
The reason for that is because the autism spectrum scale is based on the way men react. Boys, testing has always been for boys. I remember when I first had Brody, they said that only boys are on the autism spectrum, like it's a boy thing. But really, it's because girls are trained from such a very young age to be amenable, to be pliable, to be welcoming and pretty and outgoing and smart and funny and popular. And so we learn from a very young age to mask all of these signs and symptoms that normal people do.
Masking is a huge issue in women.
And so they don't see it. We don't test the same way on that spectrum because we don't present it the same way.
Does it also like leave you vulnerable to
absolutely
like
I look back at all my other relationships,
like abuse, but like
manipulation?
Yes.
And even self-manipulation, because it's like I don't fully understand the way people feel about certain things and the way that people describe they feel them. Like this is a conversation in my relationship right now. Let's get deep. Like he isn't as his love languages are like touch and physical acts of affirmation, like constantly, like he wants all that emotional affection. And I'm realizing I don't, and I've faked it for all this time. And so now I'm having to like go outside myself and like make myself show him affection because I know that's his love language.
Because you want to meet them at their language, but also you want to be happy.
Meet me. Yes, that's the exact conversation we're having right now in our relationship is because he's very like lovey-dovey, touchy-feeling, and I'm dying.
That's why I say I believe like
I love you so much.
Love's an ability. You have to talk it out. You have to be like, here, this is where I'm at this week. Also, women have maybe 2 weeks out of the month where we are actually ourselves.
Yeah, we're always outside of our head on hormones. And so add into that you've been a highly masking autistic your entire life without knowing it, you know? So I'm saying take that test. It might show you some things about yourself.
Is this just something I can find on the interwebs?
Yeah, it's like
I don't have to
autism. I'll send you the link. No.
Autism.
No, you just take the test. It's like 278 questions, but like it's worth it. It takes like 15-20 minutes to get through it. But the hardest part was answering the questions honestly and not trying to mask myself through them. Like not answering the question the way I thought it needed to be answered.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing with like people on the spectrum that don't know they're on the spectrum is we have a hard time going to like therapy because you're so self-aware because you're aware of everything.
Yeah.
You're able to therapy yourself. And so it's hard to go to someone and talk to them objectively when you're so aware.
Yeah, I did try therapy. And
they didn't tell you anything you didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I tried a few things. And I was like,
it's hard to talk to somebody
when
you know better. That's
and not even to be like, I know better, but it's like I self-analyze myself every second of every day. We're going to press stop recording and I'm going to spend the next 3 hours thinking about my opening line.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be like just as simple as that, but not simple in the same time.
Yeah. So it's something to look into, something to think about. And apparently we gravitate to one another. I've made all my friends do it and nobody has it. So I'm like, I'm just the horse girl of the group. Like I'm everybody's weird friend because Sarah's funny and she says crazy stuff.
The horse girl.
Yeah. That's what I've been telling my friends. They're like, shut up. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm the only one.
It just sent me back to, in junior high, I was a part of the
equestrian club.
No, I was in National Honor Society. So basically the same thing, right?
Sure.
And I was some officer or whatever, and it was a canned food drive. And this girl just comes up to me and like we had to make our cans. This is nuts. The expectations of Fairmont Junior High right here.
I went there too. I agree.
The expectations was they wanted us at this canned food drive to get enough cans, I guess. And I made Emil drop a grip on some cans. I did.
Come through.
to make this spaceship. I had shirts made.
Nice.
I had everything to like amp up this little. We're doing a competition of what we could turn these cans into, and I was trying to just make a spaceship, I guess, of some kind. And this is so besides the point, but Horse Girl, you know, gallops up to me and just lets me know, hey, I can draw the ultimate horse.
Sick, dude. Show me.
Yeah. So she was zero help to my canned food drive, but that was my one Horse Girl encounter I ever had. And it was pretty intense.
Yeah. Horse Girls are intense. I love them. They crack me up. I had such like an eclectic group of friends. Like I had Horse Girl friends. I had like goth friends. I had my emo friends. Like my preppy friends.
Tina and Bob's Burgers.
Literally.
She's like Horse Girl, but made it cool because it's the equestrian knots.
She's not embarrassed by it either. No. She's proud of herself.
No, they like cosplay.
Yeah, she takes her craft seriously. She's committed to the role.
That movie, or not movie. There was a movie. They did have a movie. That series is so cool. I love Bob's Burgers.
I do too. It's so funny.
Yeah. Some people say it's like just white people humor, but I think it's funny.
That's true at a certain point.
Yeah, to an extent. Everybody knows a Bob.
When I say that,
respectfully.
If you're going to a George Lopez stand-up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not white people humor.
When I say it, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's for everybody. Everybody has their own icons. I like it. I also grew up in the barrio. I grew up in South Houston, so I feel like I relate sometimes more with Hispanic culture than white people. He is funny. I don't get it.
Tommy's just here to expose me.
There's a comedian named Stavros who's
I just can't with his laugh.
I don't like his laugh.
Say his name so I could say it in the mic.
Stavros
Halkias.
Stavi.
I respect what you do. I don't.
It's not for you.
I don't laugh.
You're not his.
I don't laugh
demographics.
a lot. I am a little bit overstimulated by your laugh. That's it. I don't like machine gun laughing.
Yeah.
You can laugh at your own jokes. That's great. But when it's a laugh like that, it's rough. But
it's an acquired taste. You are autistic. You're seeing all the signs now. You're going to be hyper analyzing everything about you now. Like
I already do, man.
I do constantly.
Yeah.
And it's terrible because Corey and I'll be talking about it. And I'm like, it's just everything autism, like everything that makes me special and funny.
Well, then it takes me to why are we all autistic?
Yeah.
And then yes, everyone, I have a sense of humor. I like Shane Gillis. It's not that I dislike them, Tommy. Not everybody is gonna have the same comedic preferences as you.
You didn't like the Friday movies.
Nah, I have my times when I don't like the Friday movies.
What?
Friday movies. Let us know how you feel in the comments.
That's more of like a generational thing too. I feel like it's almost too old for me.
He has a sibling 9 years older than him. We have very similar backgrounds. Everyone in here has
weird sibling
weird sibling
dynamics.
Yeah. We're not no one in here has your usual, I had to fight for my toys.
Gap.
Yeah. Like my sister taught me how to tie my shoes.
Yeah. Straight up.
I had a car seat in my sister's car. What'd you do?
Yeah. That's funny.
She took me to daycare. She made sure I had my snacks.
My second mom.
Yeah. I really did. And she was like, and Mara, my friend, has 3 younger brothers that are like Sailor's kind of 10 or 11 now, or whatever. Preston's age, like 9. But under, she's got like 2 years old and under for the other ones. And
the way I would
she's had a car seat.
My mom if she tried to have another baby as an adult with me as an adult.
It's her dad. Her dad.
Crazy.
That's actually a can of worms. Happy birthday, Mara. It's literally your birthday today.
Happy birthday, Mara.
So happy you were born. 26 years of life. We became friends whenever she was 19 and I had just turned 21. So we were sneaking her into places.
Sure. As one does.
We survived the trap house together.
Oh my God.
That's where we met.
How sweet.
We met
trauma bond.
Yeah, we met at the trap house. And you know, we survived it. We got out. We are the only one, like we are the only ones we talk to out of that still. Everyone else has, you know,
moved on.
But yeah, it's her birthday today.
Happy birthday,
and
Mara.
I just wanted to,
thanks for sharing your story.
Yeah, she's got an interesting story with her dads. She's got a biological dad, a dad she thought was her dad her whole life, and then her stepdad.
That's awesome to have 3 male figures in your life.
And they're all very present.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is great.
So yeah, you can be like, oh, that's you know, not conventional, but
also awesome.
Yeah,
rare.
Each one of them
a rare experience to have 3 awesome dads
is a you know, solid relationship.
That's cool.
So it's cool. It is cool. And she's got, you know, she gets to be the older sister. She is the older sister of all of it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So when I say the car seat thing, she had a car seat in her car. Also for her little brother.
Well, blessed that I didn't have to do that with Faye.
Yeah.
I also didn't have a driver's license until I was like 23, so it wouldn't have worked out.
I love your I love you and Corey's story.
We're crazy.
I love that story.
We said it the other day to somebody. We've been together for 16 years. And I was like, your friends have kids older than that. My friends have kids older than that. Like, we've really been together that long. It's wild. I was 19. He was 25. Yeah, you want me to talk about it?
Yeah.
I was like, get into it.
I was like, tell the story. We're gonna end on this story because he's not here.
Sure.
He's a great guy.
He is. He's wonderful. I was 19. He was 25. I was working at Buffalo Wild Wings, and it's funny, your brother introduced us accidentally. Your brother was hanging out with my roommate at the time. And so he was coming over all the time, and he brought Corey along, and that was all it took. Corey was supposed to be my date one night, and I ended up with someone else on accident because Corey overslept, because the story of his life is he's always injured, and he had like hurt his shoulder skateboarding. And so he overslept and then showed up later on, and I was already drunk and pissy by that point. So I didn't pay any attention to him really. And then we saw each other later on. He came into Buffalo Wild Wings, and it happened to be my birthday. And he didn't know at the time it was my 20th birthday, but it was my birthday. And so we hung out that night, all of us as a group. And then he was going the next day. He was up. I was there waiting for my roommate to get off of work. And it was the day of my birthday. And I was there by myself sitting on the patio, and he came out and he was like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "It's my birthday. I'm waiting on Amanda to get off work." He was like, "It's your birthday. Well, let me sit down and hang out with you." And we hung out, and he's like, "I'm going to go to a party. Actually, do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's my birthday. And I'm just sitting at my job on my day off on my birthday. Yeah, let's go to a party." And so we went and we played beer pong, and he ended up getting way too drunk, and I left, and the next day we started talking, and we've been together ever since.
He got way too drunk.
We got way too drunk. He didn't realize I was so good at beer pong. So he says that's how he knew I was the one, because we won at beer pong. I know. So now everybody shares that meme that it's like
so romantic.
I know, right? He always shares that meme with me that it's like, don't marry the girl that was sweet or whatever. Marry the girl that plays beer pong because she's a winner, and you want your kids to be winners. He's like, that was for me.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, we were together for 6 years, and then we got pregnant with our son and got married after we had him because I needed health insurance because we decided I wasn't going back to work like the last day of my maternity leave. And we were like, nope, that's it. I can't do it.
I understand that 1,000%. I think back and I'm like 6 weeks, 6 or 8 weeks.
It's not enough.
That's wild. I would have broken down. And I see these videos.
I did. And I didn't realize at the time that I had postpartum depression and in the middle of all that.
My freaking algorithm on social media has those videos in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, working moms, it's a superpower.
It is.
To be able to turn that off. But I do hear that if you're able to turn that off, your kid's able to turn that off.
Interesting.
And it teaches, like early on, it can teach them, to not need you so early.
Yeah.
Not need you.
Sure, but more independent.
Because they have to be.
Yeah.
They have to self-soothe.
Hyper independence.
They have to at that point. And it can be a trauma response. And you know, that's just a fact I heard. That is not what I feel in my gut or whatever. But I heard if you're able to, but also I feel like the person that said that may have never actually felt that, because I can never turn that off.
No, I can't.
And I know for a fact that when Tommy's watching Lennon and I'm at work, like he's grieving me being gone still. You know what I mean? So it's not that he's turning anything off. And he's with his dad, so he does feel like he can show those emotions as well.
For sure.
Probably. Because with my parents, you know, he'll just play the whole time.
Yeah.
But with dad, time. He's letting them know, like, hey, where's that lady that
I like her
with that boob juice? She was real cool. I like when we're all together. Len really likes, like he thrives when we're all together.
Yeah, mine too. Mine are always up my ass all the time. I'm like, aren't y'all sick of me? It's been a while.
No,
like,
you're the coolest.
We're all laying in my bed together at 6:00 at night. Like, y'all don't have anything better you'd rather be doing than laying here watching me read. Like, I'm that interesting.
What are the ages again?
Brody's 9 and Vita's 6 or 5.
Vita's like Preston.
5 and 9. They love me.
9 to 5.
They're obsessed with me.
They're obsessed with me.
They are. I can't breathe on my own.
But someday, whenever we can hang out again, and they're probably out of the house at that point.
Yeah.
We'll miss it. We'll miss it. We'll miss making paper mache surprise eggs.
Oh my God, that was so cool. It's still in Brody's closet.
Really?
I have it. Yeah, I kept it.
I'm glad I was a part of that.
That was a
era,
cool experience for him.
That was cool.
He sees your pictures all the time and he's like, who's that? And I'm like, Sid. And he's like, oh, Sid.
Yeah.
If anybody says Sydney, he's like, who's that?
Yeah.
Sid.
That's how people act at work. Did you work with Odell?
I did.
Before Monument?
Were you? No, I didn't work with him before Monument.
Okay.
We both worked at Buffalo Wild Wings.
I was going to say, he talks about Buffalo Wild Wings.
So I had seen him distantly, but we were at different locations.
Yeah.
So he would come to our location sometimes. You want a funny story about Odell? He's going to hate me for telling, or he may love me for telling
Tell it, because I asked him if it was true, and he said yes, and it pissed me off that was true. I had to walk away for a second. I'm like, you gross ass.
Then you do know. So he had tickets to a concert or something. Was a Warped Tour when that was still a thing? BuzzFest. He had BuzzFest tickets when we worked at Buffalo Wild Wings. And he's a legend for this because we didn't even work at the same location and I knew about it. Like, he wanted to go to BuzzFest real bad. He had tickets. They wouldn't let him off. And it's funny because this is why I got fired from Buffalo Wild Wings, because I was at cook-off and couldn't go to work. And so he wanted to go to BuzzFest real bad. They wouldn't let him off. And so he shit his pants at work, like in the middle of the shift, like just squeezed one out. They let him go home and he got to go to BuzzFest.
Odell, we are so proud of you.
We're all your biggest fans.
You are so creative.
I root him on from the wings. Like, I like all of his baby mama's posts. Like, I am so supportive of that family. Like, I love him so much.
He makes me the pretty girls.
Beautiful girls. And it's like,
he's about to be a grandpa.
She's so beautiful. Mom's gorgeous.
She is. I think
he lucked out. Don't ever fuck that up.
He won't.
She's a real one.
She is really cool.
He's crazy. It's crazy that he's like management now, right?
Yes.
That's hilarious that you gotta.
It's going to be year Odell 3 in January.
I'd have gotten so much trouble with Odell as my boss.
At first, I think I was pregnant though. At first, I felt like I gave him a little bit of attitude.
Sure. Like, you're my friend. You can't talk to me like that.
And I'm sorry about that. You was just adjusting. But it's cool now. Yeah. It's fine. He was learning, you know.
He's been in the industry long enough.
Exactly.
It
was a smooth transition.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool to have a boss you like, right? Isn't it weird?
The guy who's shit his pants to leave work is now my boss.
Woo! Legend.
Yeah. And any closing statements? I'm so glad you've been here. And you sat here,
have to come back just so we can talk about other stuff.
Literally. No, you will be for sure.
We can talk about the quails next time. We can talk about gardening, suburban homesteading.
Yeah, we talked about the Animal Crossing in the backyard.
Literally.
She really is like living out some crunchy dreams
I know. I'll have to send you. Corey sent me the satellite view of my house in my neighborhood, and it's like, shout out to my neighbors. I hope y'all have enjoyed.
You have a whole ecosystem in your backyard.
Yes, I'm like a little Monsanto bubble. Like, you can see everybody with their pools and their landscaping, and then I'm like farmland, like in the middle of the suburbs.
That's awesome. I think I forgot to even mention.
What?
You're the owner,
the
founder,
Cool Moms group.
the owner, founder,
the reason you
writer, all of that. Of Cool Moms Only group on Facebook. I've been following it since before I was a mom for some training.
Yeah.
On
and
all
tea.
Of this. And some tea.
There was a rough patch there in the beginning, some growing pains where people were posting all their business, which is great.
Love that.
Love that. You felt safe.
Yeah. You know, you're like a little journalist.
Yeah.
You know, you get to decide what your page is gonna.
I know it's hard not to feel like God sometimes. When it was really popping, there was a point where I like had to turn off requests because we were getting like 20 and 30,000 requests at a time from places all over the world. And I was like, we're in Deer Park. Like, calm down. Chill out. We're in small town America.
We're swapping recipes.
Yeah, like I'm seeing these people at the grocery store, and I like that because if anybody's gonna call me gross on my mom group, I'm gonna see you at HEB.
Yeah, like, I love that.
Don't play with me.
You've cornered that like mom market. You've got that respect.
I feel like that's what's different about our page though, and why like it did grow up so quick because like I'm just. Maybe it's because I'm autistic, but I'm very like straightforward. I'm not like one of those fluff up your ass. If I feel like you're being a deadbeat, I'm going to tell you that. Like I feel like I'm doing you a disservice if I pretend like everything you're doing is okay. And I feel like more people need people like that in their lives.
Yes. Being held accountable is like almost unheard of nowadays. They just people just like, you know, let crazy things happen to them. And you're just like,
nobody told you that wasn't all right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, that's not all right.
I'm gonna let you know right now.
Do you want me to beat up your husband? Blink twice. We will rescue you.
We're good here.
This is a safe space.
Thanks for watching. We'll have you back on.
I'll be here
soon in the new year. I really want to figure out. I say this every episode. I want to figure out how to do 3 people eventually.
That would be fun.
With Becca or like with Johnny too.
That would be really fun.
Get really into like boob stuff.
I was gonna say we should talk about breastfeeding and stuff.
Yeah, that's like only what the podcast is called,
you know,
basically. You know. But yeah, she was a breastfeeding mom
for 4 years.
For 4 years,
I EBF'd, man.
Really? Wow.
I'm gonna warn you before we cut off. Extended breastfeeding is awesome, but just know the older that he gets, the bigger that he gets, the stronger that he gets. And Veda was full on fist fighting me for Booby in the middle of the grocery store. Like, so just know
he'll bust both of our lips. Like he beats us up already.
So that is the only warning I will give you.
We're at 16 months right now. My goal is 2 years.
Do it.
We'll do it for sure because he's such a booby boy.
To stop after.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, Beta, you're going to preschool. Booby can't go to preschool with
you.
Booby
can't go to preschool. That's funny. Well, thank you again. And we'll see you on Cool Moms Only group on Facebook. Thank you.